Hello and welcome to Casey's Clarity Corner, where I teach you simple things about life insurance that you should have already known. On today's episode, we are going to be defining the word flexibility in regards to an indexed universal life insurance policy. Agents who tell their clients that an IUL is flexible but can't answer the question, why? Buckle up and make sure you take notes. You're about to get educated. And for anybody watching who's not an agent, you're welcome. Take this information and don't get scammed. The first thing that we need to understand flexibility is what are the IUL guidelines. Not all IULs have guidelines unless they are following the guideline premium test and not the cash value accumulation test. So when our IUL has guidelines, that's when we talk about flexibility, which is the majority of the time. Now, what are the guidelines that we need to know to understand the flexibility of our IUL? Well, the first one is called the guideline level annual premium. This premium or contribution guideline is the max contribution per year allowed into the IUL. The next premium guideline we need to understand is the target premium. The target premium is the goal contribution amount or the minimum per year to keep the policy in good standing. If we don't understand these two guidelines, we don't understand flexibility within our policy. Okay, now let's get an example. So let's say you told me, hey Casey, I want to contribute $500 a month into my IUL. Well, that's $6,000 per year, right? Now, let's say that we have an IUL that has a GLAP, right, our guideline level annual premium, of $12,000 per year. And the target premium on this policy is $5,000 per year, right? This is now our flexibility where our funding contributions can go at a low point, at a high point, and this is what we want to contribute. If you've watched enough of my videos, you already should know that this policy is not going to be max funded, right? Right? Okay, here we go. Flexibility. How do we understand the flexibility of this policy? Well, I have drawn little buckets down here at the bottom. Each bucket represents 1 year inside our IUL policy. So year one. On year one, we are allowed to contribute $12,000. But what do we contribute? $6,000. We contribute half of what could have gone into our bucket. No problem. The target premium, the goal was $5,000. And we contributed $6,000. So we're good. Year two, we do the same thing. We contribute half. We met the target premium. We didn't fully fund the policy, but we're still good to go. Year three comes along, and this person says to me, hey Casey, I can only contribute $3,000 this year. Is that okay? It's okay for a year, hopefully. What does that look like? Contributing $3,000, that's down here, right? Let's just put, we got six, and now 3. The next year, the insurance carrier is going to need $5,000. They are going to need that. We had some flexibility here, but now on year 4, if we don't hit that target premium of $5,000, we're going to be possibly in trouble. Why? I thought we had flexibility. Well, we do between these two numbers. So according to what's happened so far, our client could have contributed another $6,000, but didn't, right? Here, could have contributed another $6,000, but didn't. Could have contributed another $9,000, but did not. What they did contribute, 6, 12, 15,000. They have contributed 15,000 over these 3 years. But what could have been contributed was 12, 21. 21,000 more dollars could have gone in by that point. All right? So, if we have contributed 15,000 over these 3 years, and our target premium is 5,000, that means that in these 3 years, all we have done is hit the goal contribution amount, which means our flexibility on year 4 is gone. We don't have a choice but to contribute $5,000 on year 4 to make sure that our policy stays in force. This policy, this setup, would not have very good flexibility for your client to decrease and increase their contributions and feel comfortable if $6,000 a year was what was comfortable, not 12,000. Hopefully you're picking up what I'm putting down. Now we're going to switch gears and talk about a policy that has perfect, amazing flexibility. If you're a life insurance agent and you feel like, damn, Casey knows a lot of shit, you can get on my level. All you need to do is check out lifewise.io and you can get access to every single detail and information that I talk about in my videos, in-depth product knowledge, training, support, a community, resources, you name it. You should check it out. Okay, now we are going to assume that our client still wants to contribute $6,000 a year. But now the IUL has a GLAP of $6,500 and a target premium of $2,000. This is our new flexibility. This is our new funding contribution guidelines, $2,000 to $6,500. So, year 1, in our bucket, in our IUL, our client contributes $6,000. On year 2, our client contributes $6,000. On year 3, same thing happens to the client, right? The client says, hey, I can't contribute everything. I need to do just $3,000 this year. That's no problem, right? Because $3,000 is still above the $2,000 target premium. So we filled it up halfway. Now, let's say that our client's life hits the fan even more, to the point that on year 4, they can't contribute anything at all. Literally nothing can go into the policy from our client. What's gonna happen? Well, year 1, they contributed everything but $500. All the insurance carrier wanted was the $2,000 down there. Same thing here. All they wanted was that $2,000. Down here, all they wanted was that $2,000. So we have satisfied the policy all 3 years and we've given them extra, right? We've actually given them, what, $4,000 extra, $4,000 extra, and $1,000 extra. So all it took over these 3 years, or let's say 4 years, was $8,000 to satisfy the contributions of this policy. But the client gave $8,000 plus one over here, right? So 9,000. The client gave them 9,000 in this one. So what does that mean for the client? That means their flexibility is even greater than before. They can literally not contribute on year 4. And what's going to happen? The cost of insurance is just going to be taken from the cash value, from all of this extra money that was contributed into the policy. No problem, right? Now, on year 5, your client has risen from the ashes. They are back on their feet. They are ready to contribute their $6,000. And they contribute that $6,000. Let's say they did the entire $6,500. They maxed it out. A good agent is going to remind their client, hey client, guess what? Since you didn't contribute here, we didn't contribute everything there, and this extra $500 that didn't get contributed, if you have the money in the future, say for example, right now you had an extra $6,500, you could put all $6,500 on top that year for a total of $13,000 to make up for last year. So you were able to exceed your guideline level annual premium because you underfunded it in the past. Do you see how much more flexibility this client has compared to if we screwed them over? Are you seeing what's happening? How much more value and benefit would a client get from having this much flexibility in their policy? And there you have it, folks. Flexibility within an IUL that has guideline premiums. Pretty simple. Your clients need it. Agents, you should be designing policies that have it. So if you are already working with an agent, ask them how flexible your policy is. If they can't explain it, send them this video. I hope you guys got value from this. Let me know in the comments what you thought. What topic should I cover next on Casey's Clarity Corner? I'll see you next time. Bye!